emerging on the face of the earth, a new human, an infinite human, and that infinite human is you. Join Elizabeth Monroy weekly for enlightening discussions, multi-dimensional journeys, profound meditations, and empowering visualizations as we co-create the new consciousness renaissance together with other blossoming infinite human beings who are shifting the old paradigms of our broken, fragmented, finite 3D Earth and alchemizing it into a more expansive, unified, loving, infinite reality by reclaiming their true divine infinite power within as the co-creators of the new infinite Earth. Welcome to the Infinite Human Talk Show with Elizabeth Monroy. Over the next hour, you'll learn how you can become part of the new consciousness renaissance by evolving yourself physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, financially, and socially to embrace your true divine infinite nature and become an infinite human and co-creator of the new infinite Earth. Now, here is your host, Elizabeth Monroy.
Hello, my divine infinite human beings. You're all that is, ever has been, and ever shall be. And welcome, welcome, welcome. And this is a joyous occasion because the new earth is here. The frequency has been set. And this is a powerful, powerful upgrade that has happened since the whole Lionsgate corridor and all the colossal solar flares and this Schumann Resonance going off the chart. And, you know, it's just all these energies that are kicking in from the KRYSTALA River host, the Nomi Wave, you know, and just a whole smattering of help that we're getting to return us back to our rightful place in the cosmos. So it is a wonderful time. The fabric has been set. The canvas is clear. The way is clear for us. Now all we have to do is co-create this beautiful new earth using our creative imagination. So it's a wonderful time to be alive. And I hear you. I know many of you are saying, what in the fuck is she talking about? And I've been hearing you. I've been opening up to some coaching that I've been offering now, just to kind of get the pulse of where everyone's going through. And believe me, I have already been through it. That's why I'm here, you know, so happy because I'm on the other side of it, and I'm the other side of it because you know, I needed to be where I am right now to be doing what I'm doing. So we've got a wonderful guest with us right here. I'm a soul. So we're going to hear from her because she is to me a precious soul, just an amazing being. And she's the epitome of what I see the seed of this new earth becoming. And it's really becoming from within. All right. And you are the new earth. It comes from inside out. It's not, and I know many of you are like, I just want to get there. You know, where is it? Show me the road sign. Let me go there. And yes, it does help to get out of all the smart cities, out as much as you can. I know I talked to a lot of folks in England, and I know you guys are getting, you know, bombarded now with all the chemtrails and all the crazy stuff where people are going to jail for posts and there's all kinds of attacks. I hear everyone saying they're getting all kinds of attacks. And that's because they're trying to keep you in the lower frequencies where you do get attacked. So this is going to be all about, you know, I'm going to start dedicating myself to helping you to raise your frequency and to get and you need to physically, if you can, just get out of this, go out in nature as much as you can, go to the forests, you know, go to the lakes and the waters, if you can, the oceans, go and touch, you know, the trees and be as much in nature, because that is holding the higher frequencies. And today we're going to talk about the new earth. And then the second part, we're going to talk about the animals. And they're very important role, and I believe there's a shifting role that is now occurring, a very powerful shift that has occurred in all levels, of course, and the animals are leading the way as our teachers in many aspects. So we're going to talk about that in the next the second part of this broadcast. But I just want to kind of, before I bring Alma on to share, I want to just kind of bring you up to the solution. Today we're going to be talking about the solution to the new earth, but the anti-solution. And I have to say, I know it's hard for everyone, but I have to admit, if you guys really knew the plan, the dark agenda, we have come so much further. I know for some of you, you think, oh my God, the world's falling apart, but we're not anywhere where, if the anti-solution, the anti-Krystic solution to the new earth had come about, by now most of us would be hooked into, to the hive mind, and there would be probably no organic life left on earth, and and that was the agenda. So you can see how much we're kind of between the two timelines, so we're dipping in and out a lot right now, and many of you are finding, like your reality is going up and down every day. Like one day you have this plan, and then that disappears out of reality, and then this plan, and so just what I'm trying to do is beam steer you on a path where you can stay true to the Krystic path of ascension, the highest frequency path, the most direct path. And I feel like I really need to do some transparency here, because there's a whole lot of stuff out there and people are saying, who do we believe? What do we do? Where are we going? And okay, before this huge shift, I was ready to I was looking for pieces of land in Mexico and here in Sicily, and I just wanted to get a few good buddies and say vaffanculo to the world and have my little new earth community and let everything, come what may, and kind of just disconnect from the internet because it was just getting so crazy. But much to my surprise, I was I was told very specifically that is not my job, ha ha ha, like you wish. I was kind of like, you wish, but that's not my job. So I've recommitted to becoming, actually, I've gone completely around, because I feel like before we can all join in on new earth communities, if we don't raise our frequency, if we don't clear out our own inner baggage, we're just going to all get together and bring it with us, and it's going to be a mess. It's going to be worse, so we have to have this, what I call the new consciousness renaissance, and I really think a lot of this is going to happen in the net. And I'm always saying, don't get in the net, but the net is kind of dividing into two categories. And we're going to talk more about this later on in the month, as we having Akwashi, who is a Krystic musician, amazing guy. And we're going to talk about creating, communities in cyberspace. But there's a huge opportunity now. And this was kind of sparked by here in Scopello, this little community that I, live in. And we were gathering to crush grapes for wine and have a pizza party. And I met this, digital nomad who had bought some property in Nicaragua and who was traveling all around the world, funded by, her presence on the internet. So I thought, wow, this is a great window of opportunity for us to reach so many people. And in fact, I think Amasol uses it so well, because she's not on there, selling, lipstick or something, but she shares the beautiful, touching story of her life, and the new earth in the sanctuary. Okay, so do you want to tell me a little bit about? I'll bring you in on this. And hang on just one second. I want to make sure I covered everything here before I get you going. Okay, so this is a huge shift. And I just want to say, everything that you're doing right now is you're really It's so crucial. We're at such a delicate time. And every decision you make, every, I want to turn right or left, it's so pivotal because it's constructing not only your reality, and we all construct our own reality, but it's also constructing the new earth reality. And I just want to be, again, transparent before I bring Am here and say what I'm about is always, no matter what I talk about on the show, I'm always going to bring the power back to you, inside of you. You have infinite source within you. And maybe you might say, well, I don't feel very powerful, but it's just because you have to dissolve away all the shadows, all the barriers, all the stuff that's in your way, because the pathway's been cleared for you and your infinite self to reconnect and co-create the optimal reality for yourself and for the planet. And I don't, get into the Galactic Federation that's kind of coming up right now. And I feel like that's going to be the next scandemic. We're going to have the whole aliens come in, and there are aliens, and they definitely play a part in our Earth history and perhaps in our future. But we really have to be careful because they have not played the best, most extraterrestrial cultures have not really been beneficial to us. They've been parasites. So we have to always remain in our power as the guardians of our Mother Earth. This is our mother. This is our planet. We are born here. We are of her. So that's a real important message I want to give out. So, if the aliens start coming in, I'm not going to say, hey, they're here, thank God, tell us what to do. So, and I hear that rumbling, okay, and I'm always going to, you create your reality. If you're being attacked, both Am and I use some heart shield, and I've sent that around to some people. It's on my YouTube channel. I started a new YouTube channel called Being Infinite Human Beings Co-Creating a New Earth, because you want to first become infinite in yourself, then create. Because if you're recreating the same finite structures and the same problems inside of yourself, you're just perpetuating the problem. All right. So I think that gives a clear enough idea of what I'm doing. So we're going to bring the beautiful Alma Soul. Well, she's here. So hi, Alma. And first of all, I want to ask you, how's Aurora Light?
She's doing very well. Thank you for asking. Yes,
okay, good.
She's adjusting. She's been accepted by the flock, and
good.
continuing to improve every day.
I was just crying the first day when, you had the whole crisis happen. It was just so, when animals are involved, I just get so, it just touches your heart. And that's something I think we need to shift, because we need to care about people as much as animals, but some of us, don't. So tell us, do you mind telling us about you and what you do? Could you share that with our audience again?
I'm the founder of the Blue Heart Animal Sanctuary here in Western North Carolina, and I'm on 40 acres of sacred Cherokee land, a really extraordinary place here. And I had a somewhat conventional life. I have a master's degree in education. I was the director of a federal grant program in the school system. And in 2017, I fell and broke my wrist, and I healed it in a week. And that kind of put me on a whole new trajectory. I had my first attunement session, so to speak, on the total solar eclipse of 2017. And I was shown that this was more than a place of healing for animals. It is a place of healing for people as well. But I wouldn't be able to hold that space for others until I did my own healing. And maybe about a week and a half later, my husband of 19 years walked out. And while I used to reflect that I navigated through the dark night of my soul, I now just have the understanding that it was more of like the death of my ego and my opportunity to really do this shadow work, this healing, to clear the miasms and distortions that I held in my field, the lack and the limiting beliefs. And now I've got 4 accommodations. I invite people to come. I've named the center Soul Gaia, the Center for Illumined Hearts. So, this space allows people the opportunity to come, to connect with organic creation, to be in nature, to feel the unconditional love of the animals. And it's been really beautiful to witness, because the animals, I love to bring animals here that have lived the epitome of duality. And so coming from an experience of hell on earth to paradise, heaven on earth, Eden here. And now I see how they're holding space for others. So I'm sure we'll talk about that more later in the next segment. But yeah, it's been a really beautiful journey, and I'm ever so grateful for everything that is unfolding here. And yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming. And this is not your first time. She's a regular, so we have a lot of other broadcasts where she's talked. So you might want to listen to those too. But I chose Amma because the theme for this month is co-creating the new earth, and I feel like she's really a beautiful. I mean, really, all we can do is be role models. When you think about it, we can't really. We can teach people things, but basically we all have that knowledge. I think part of it is just remembering it. And the best thing we can do is just role model it. And I find her an excellent role model of the blossoming new earth. Why? Because first of all, what she said, she's been through hell, in a lot of different ways. And, she's been in the 3D earth and had to deal with the divorce and the relationship issues and worked on her shadow. And that's the first thing you really have to do in order to hold these higher frequencies. And she understands the Krystic principles, and she understands that she's a guardian of this sacred space, and she also knows how to hold the frequency of the place, which I think is key. And she's starting small. It doesn't have to be this grandiose multi people, everyone there, and because you're just bringing all your luggage, your baggage with you. So well done with that.
Thank you.
So I guess the question I want to really ask is, can you kind of share with us your attitude of how you see, how you work with people who come, because you have people that come, maybe at other levels, they don't even know why they're there. They're not, so you just kind of, how do you do that? How do you ambassador them into that frequency? I guess that would really be what you're doing.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. I feel that everyone's here for a reason, and some people are consciously aware of it, and other people, could be they're just getting entrained with the frequencies, that they are just having an opportunity to become present, for the first time. We're all in this mode of go, 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 do, do, do. So allowing people the space to just come and be. And I'm available, I'm available if they, seek to have a nature quest with me, or have a cacao ceremony, or, I have a lot of different offerings. And so I kind of like, the opportunity is there, the invitation is there. And for people who are aligned to, dive deeper, to kind of connect in a greater way, hey, let's go, let's do it, And for other people, they're just coming. And I'd say like the bottom line that everybody feels here is like, wow, I've not felt this sense of peace, this sense of calm and serenity in such a long time. So that's really beautiful. And then, the other people who are, on a journey of seeking, it's like, oh, wow, here's an invitation to dive in a little bit deeper. And here's some things that I can bring into your field. And if they resonate with you, great. Some people like, let's go. And other people is like, okay, I'm going to feel into this. I'm going to discern if this is for me. And, I really love to hold space for others, to be able to be seen and heard, to hold that space for people to express themselves. So,
you said several things I think are key. I really want to highlight them because, everyone, and I want to talk later about your vision, visions for the new earth, because I'm hearing a lot of people talking about what they think the new earth is going to be. And some I've heard on some of the talk shows, I just kind of put an ear to once in a while. It's like Star Trek or something. So, but you said, the attitude is so important because it's respecting, first of all, respecting wherever they're at, really respecting that. And okay, let's go a little bit further. Okay, you want some space because, it doesn't mean you're not, a highly evolved being that if you need some space because you're digesting stuff. I mean, to judge, where a person's at because of the way they interact with you or where they're at in that moment, that's just a little like screenshot of a huge film, of their life story. So I think that's key, that we really have to have that respect for each another's, space and where they're at in their story. And then frequency. Really, the best thing you can do is be a role model, but to give the gift of letting people taste what these high frequencies are like. Because when I post this, for example, the frequencies are here. People are like, what frequency are you talking about? And I understand, because if you're, in a highly dense area where everyone's on their, cell phones, and the chemtrails are just canopying it all off. So they're cutting you off into the lower frequencies. You don't feel what it's like. And, you live in a very high frequency. I live in a very high frequency place. I chose it. I work the frequency every day. And even if I wake up with problems, I just feel that frequency in the morning, and it's in me, and it's like gonna make everything work out. It doesn't mean you're not purging, but I think people can feel it. Now, you can't do the work for them because they get a taste, and then they have to go back and do it themselves. So what would you say to people that, get a taste of that frequency, and then what's the next step for them?
Well, it's interesting, people who are sensitive to subtle energies. Sometimes I have people be like, oh my gosh, I could feel you all the way down the road, And so, for those people who are, seeking, it's like they're becoming entrained with the frequency, with the higher frequencies. And then my invitation is like, you can take this with you. There's tools and techniques and different things that you can bring into your daily life to be able to, tap back into this feeling and take this with you everywhere you go.
Very good. And our live stream didn't work on Facebook.
I know. I just got somebody was like, I don't see you.
It's not gonna work, but it's okay. Well, we'll get this back to you guys. So okay, so that's really important. And let me ask you this: what are your visions? And in some aspects, it is remembering it because we were there and we fell. But I also feel like and I believe very much in the fail safe, or whatever you want to call it. I just call it the setting ourselves to the correct spiral, KRYSTALA spiral, or the correct alignment with infinite God source. And I feel like we've learned a lot, and we're going back with the elixir of life, with knowledge, because we're not just, so Krystic and so, offended, by all this. Oh, this is so terrible. But we're like tough too. We got that tough love, and we like, we're victors, we're transmitting from being victims to victors. So I think we're co-creating what we had before, but even better, if that makes sense. So I have my visions. Do you want to share some of your visions of what you see the new earth like in, say, 1,000 years or something?
Well, I'd say it's co-creating this place of loving kindness. It's service to others versus service to self, where everyone is in this state of flow, and that's what's happening here, and it's really beautiful. Everything is so easy, and you really truly embody the attitudes and responsibilities of mastery. Like, part of that is, it's engaged detachment. It's not getting triggered by one another. It's holding space, taking accountability for ourselves, being impeccable. If you go down that whole list of the 12 attitudes and responsibilities of mastery, it's love and grace and accountability and impeccability, and it's beautiful. It's easy. That's the only way I can describe it. It's just so easy.
It's easy because you've incorporated those, and you just, for me, I think I listened to something that Ashiana was saying, a tape about really there's no more free will. And I felt that so much right now because I feel like this, like I said before, this time is so pivotal, and I'm getting so many, like I don't say I get guided or called. I get like shoved, like you got to do this, now. And I'm like, I used to be like, ease up. Now I'm like, no, please, I don't want to screw up anymore. I've screwed up so much, so please, no margin of error. I mean, I don't want any free will at all to screw up, just like, and for me, my life is like that. It's like, when I finally surrender to it, it all flows. And the flow, the lack of flow is when I'm not surrendering. I'm trying to, I have it in my mind what it's supposed to be like, instead of thy mind, the infinite creation, or I'll just say the infinite part of myself. I'm identifying too with the finite aspects of myself. Like, oh, I want to have this much money, and I want it to be in this place, and I want to have this kind of, blah, blah, it has to be pink and blue, and so the ease comes with just flowing with infinite source, and okay, this is how we're going to do it, like an artist almost, it's like it's coming. Oh no, you don't want it this way. Okay, we can just move it over here and try it, this kind of energy, if that makes sense. So I guess part of my talk show is also about correcting things, because I think there's this a lot of people want to get off the planet still, and I just want to say it's all happening here. We're the guardians, and we're multidimensional, so you don't have to like get in a spaceship to travel. You can travel in your other bodies. You can be there. And I spend a lot of time on Eartha. I guess that you kind of say I'm like between the two worlds, since I still have very much a relationship with my twin soul Peter, and he's there. We have a home there, we have a life there, and it's beautiful. It's just frequencies and flying and beautiful crystalline cities with the Tartarian architecture, and people come together in purpose and mission, not just for social gatherings, but they come together with an intention of something, and it's a beautiful co-creative process. So I'd like to emphasize that, because a lot of people, I was watching something where everyone was like, what's your visualization of the future? We're creating that, I mean, I'm creating my future, my present. Really, there's no time, but I'm co-creating my reality, my holographic reality at moment to moment, with each thought. So think of what you want to experience, I think, as we delve into this new earth. Any comments?
Yeah, actually, and that's why, like, for me, it's so important to be discerning of what I allow in my field. What am I watching? What am I listening to? People often share things with me about, well, all the trees are dying from everything they're spraying. And, my response is, not in my hologram.
Yeah.
You want to give energy to that? Okay. The whole political shit show and everything like that it's all the distraction.
Not my hologram.
Not my hologram.
Okay, thank you. And we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we'll talk more about what we want to create in our holograms.
For more empowering words from Elizabeth Monroy and Dr. Peter Monroy, check out their latest book, The Infinite Human, an ascension guide for starseeds, twin souls, and awakening infinite humans, the co-creators of the new infinite 5D Earth. You'll also find many spiritual books to help both children and adults in their ascension back to home, to infinite God Source. Isn't it time to be part of the new consciousness renaissance? If this resonates with you, please subscribe to our website at infinitehuman.com and become part of our growing Infinite Human family.
And welcome back again.
Welcome back to the Infinite Human Talk Show with your host, Elizabeth Monroy. Do you have a question or comment for Elizabeth or her guests? Please call us at 888-346-9141. That's 888-346-9141. You can also text or email your questions and comments to infinitehumanproductions@gmail.com. Now, back to the show.
And welcome back. I'm Elizabeth Monroe, your host, and I'm with the beautiful, precious soul, Alma soul of the Blue Heart Animal Sanctuary. Is that right? And what's the name of your retreat center? Your newer center?
Yeah. Soul Gaia.
Soul Gaia. That's right. I like that, Soul Gaia. That's just kind of like organically coming out, right?
Right.
So we were talking about what you want to put into your holographic template. What thoughts, what things you want to come in and fill you up. And I just want to say one thing that I think I am, and I think a lot of people listening, maybe you kind of end up having to do it when you get to a certain point, and I think many of us just do it without even knowing it. But it's wonderful. I always try to be very, choosy about what I let in my holographic template. But at the same time, I am an alchemist. I have to be an alchemist. So a lot of times I'll dip in, maybe I don't even want to, but I'm dipping in, but also sometimes I just like, whether I'm looking around, I like to see what's going on out there. That's part of my job. I bring in all kinds of things. I follow all the Krystic paths, whether, I don't get into this or that, because it's all part of the infinite, and it's all one, and and it's all good, even the dark side, I'm very aware of what's going on. If it's in front of me, I'm not going to go out looking for it. But then what I do is I go out and then I try to bring it back into the Krystic path, to the KRYSTALA spiral. And that's part of what we're all doing right now. And many of us, and I've heard from you, I hear you, a lot of you are going through a lot of stuff, because what you do is not only processing, but you're alchemizing for the collective. A lot of us right now, we're alchemizing all this stuff for the collective, and we're taking on, you could say karma, but it's also, just part of your job. In fact, when I was listening to this tape earlier, they were saying that, we have soul contracts when we come in. And part of that is, and some of it, and that's why you can't really judge people, because sometimes, you might have dipped into something, taken on something that really taxes you. I know I did this summer. It was terrible, but I'm so glad I'm over it. But and you're purging that, alchemizing it for the collective. So did you want to speak to that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we're all coded differently. We all have different missions here, so to speak. And, some of us, we do transmute, we do alchemize the different timelines and different things like that. I was very much down a lot of rabbit holes for quite some time. And then my guidance shifted, was to, stop giving my energy and attention to those things. And, that's allowed me to just continue to clear the miasms and distortions in my field, so that I can hold the higher frequencies. I'm accreting frequency every day. I'm doing sequences and singing songs and doing different things to, set the tone, so to speak. So, I'm in this place of non-judgment where, like I said, we're all different. We all have things that we're passionate about and things that we resonate with. And, that's the beautiful thing about all of us, all these different aspects of source, having all these different experiences.
And I think that's where we're heading towards, and it's really exciting. And I think that's what we're experiencing right now. A lot of us are this roller coaster of frequency, up and down and up and down. And of course, you want to do everything. I spend my whole day too, just going through everything to purge and cleanse and raise my frequency and maintain it at the highest level. And and I choose to live in a place where I can do that. But I'm going to have to get on the plane and go to the States. I'm going to come back. And and I'll be at the Body, Mind, Spirit in Cincinnati on my birthday, November 23rd and 24th. So if you guys are in that area, come out and see me. And it's challenging to be in the States and to travel and to get on planes and to all that kind of stuff, and to bring Kiki, my service dog, on the airplane. But hopefully we are all as a collective gathering our tribes. And I see, for me, my vision of the new earth is to see these beautiful pinpoints of high frequency places all throughout the planet. And they're very much grounded in the organic, where we live in self-sustaining, beautiful bio kind of architecture, and have fruit forests and grow our own food, and sing the songs, and make our own music and our own stories by the fire at night, and and hold frequency. And I feel like these are going to be little points all around the planet. They're just going to maintain that high frequency and the integrity of the planet while it slowly races up. And I feel like these will become hubs that people will visit, and, we'll exchange ideas and, cultures and all kinds of things, and in the physical, and so, and we'll travel around from point to point, because I always felt like, I would say my bedroom is in Montana, and my lanai is in Hawaii, and my second bedroom's in Florida, and my, third bedroom's in Italy. I feel like we are kind of, not only multidimensional in terms of other living in other dimensions, but also spreading our energy around the planet, because each of us holds certain keys, and our codes are needed in those places at certain times. So we'll just go. And I also see us pioneering a whole new way to travel. And of course, I think this is my vision. Okay, take it or leave it, but I see the internet. I've kind of made my peace with it, because if you read my book, I was like, get out of the net, and 5G or 5D or whatever. But I see its place now, because it is a place where, if we can get enough creatives there, if we can get people who build their communities, and we can come together there first, and then we can make sure we ground it in the good earth. We just don't keep it in cyberspace. And then I think as the split occurs more and more, we're going to see siphoned off those of the lower frequencies. And part of that will be the net will be siphoned off into the phantom levels of Earth. And the Tartarian technology will kick in, which is already in place. And, if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's in my book, The Infinite Human. And we had some great talk shows with Ian Parks about Tartarian architecture. But, there's all kinds of resonating technology, electricity, whatever we need, that heals us and the planet. And there's little biportation, pads, so we don't have to do the air, these horrible, just so disruptive to your Krystic template when you go through all those, radiation machines. What do they call them? Security.
You can bypass that, by the way. You can just tell them you want to opt out. You don't have to walk through that.
Oh, but then they do you with a little thing like that?
You can ask for a pat down. I do it every time. I refuse to walk through that milliwave scan thing. I do not resonate with it. So,
yeah, it does a number on you.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
So if you just ask them for an opt out, they'll pull you aside. And I'd much rather have someone run their hand up and down my body than walk through that machine, for sure.
Yeah.
So,
I agree.
yeah.
Well, I usually do that with Kiki,
Right.
because she's a service dog. So
Oh, true. Yeah. I mean, so much of it is just saying, I don't consent to this. What are my
Yes.
options? And oftentimes we don't want to create any waves or have anybody look at us differently, but I don't care. I'm going to speak my truth. I don't resonate with this. I'm not going to walk through this. I don't have a microwave. I don't get x-rays. I'm not going to walk through your machine.
I just, I tell you, well, we're going to get into the thing about animals in the next part, which we almost are, but I make waves just showing up. It's like, oh, here they come, because Kiki and I hold frequency together, and the minute they see us, and I literally had to, I just had to do this, and I was really prepared, because I'd had so many problems getting to the States, and that's a long story. But when I was leaving Mexico, I could not get the computer would not accept all her things, her documents, even though it was right there. I was trying to be so peaceful. I've been meditating the whole day, and it was like an hour had gone by, and they said, just come back tomorrow. And I just had to open my mouth and scream at the top of my lungs in the Cancun airport. I just, and the whole airport shook, and everyone came running, and I got a human being who said, okay, that's fine. Because they said, she has to fit in this. I said, she's alive. She can't go into this. they were, so, yeah, you have to make waves. I always make waves just showing up, like I said. So, okay. So, all right, we got about 15 more minutes, and I just want to make sure we're covering everything, because I just really wanted to set the tone. I think the most important thing is we need to shift. I know everyone's like new earth, new earth, new earth, and it is work. Like I said, the frequency's there, and it's going to get more and more every day. So the job's been done. It's here. Now we have to get ourselves up. And if you're not experiencing it, that's just, with all love to yourself. Okay, where am I not experiencing it? Where am I experiencing it? What can I do? Do I need to change my diet? Do I need to move? Do I need to learn some techniques to shield in myself and raise my frequency? What's triggering me? Do I still have a lot of, am I still so much in the finite world with relationships and my job and fears that I can't support myself? There's so much that everyone's feeling right now, and you don't want to judge it, but you want to love yourself and say, okay, I want to move. And I think the theme is from victim to victor. And I think you did that.
Sure. Like shifting out of victimizer consciousness is that's one of the biggest things.
That's a
I
key,
think also,
really.
oh my gosh, totally. I think the other thing is, there's what I perceive or witnessed is this energy of waiting for the white hats, waiting for whoever's going to take office to make the shift.
POTUS. Yeah.
Right. I'm going
the
to
Galactic Federation,
Yes,
Jesus.
exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
waiting.
Like,
Some
no,
putting
we
your
are
power.
the ones. We're here.
Yeah.
It's up
The
to
med
us.
beds. I love that one. The
Yeah,
med beds. Everyone's waiting
right.
for a med bed. Well, I just want a little thing about med beds here. If anyone's ever seen Stargate, those sarcophagi, that supposedly they, would put people in and they would come back to life. Well, okay, I can understand that. But in the series, the main guy started using it on a regular basis, for bioregenesis, and started to change him, and he started to become like the gods. So I would really, you, like you said, you healed your risk in a week. We have these powers. It might be a little bit more effort, but we've got to get out of the mindset of paying for someone to fix us, to, an external thing, a med bed, a magic alien technology wand that's gonna, heal us and illuminate us. And that's how we got into this mess, really.
Exactly.
So, getting out of, you just gave me a wonderful example, and I'm that's part of what I want to do with this new channel is, have the talk shows, but then during the week, just kind of for myself too, show how I navigate the world. And I think you've been very good at that, because the first video I saw you had gotten a ticket and you were like going to court to challenge the straw man fiction. So, I think we need role models to show us, or like you just said, going through the radiation. You don't have to do that, so how do you, what's the best tool or just mindset or that you can give our audience to help us to move moment to moment from being a victim into being a victor?
Well, I mean, so much of it is just standing in our power, feeling connected with all that there is, having this, relationship. My relationship with God source comes first. And everything that I do, I do.
And you were like vertical, go go
Exactly.
high, go instead of taking on the person near you. And
Right.
and I have to admit, it's a trigger for me because I'm so peaceful here and wonderful. And then I get out and then I'm like, someone does something and I'm get mad. Like, hey, how dare you do that? And I'll like wham them with anger. But really, when you're angry, it's because you're not feeling powerful. So
Right.
it's probably more of a, okay, step back,
Right.
not having it. And then inside yourself, just not reacting, but coming out when you're sovereign, God, sovereign, free, power, whatever,
Right.
and saying, no, that's not the solution. This is how I want to navigate that. And,
Right.
and coming forward very strong and just not letting them put you in their little, okay, over here, you do that, because they're just kind of mind controlled bots. So many of them themselves, they don't think anymore. They just kind of get their hive minded orders. I've noticed when I flew 2 years ago, it was like they said things that, were inhumane and they didn't blink an eye.
Right.
So you can't get offended by it. You just have to,
Right. But,
I'm above this.
right. It's
Makes sense.
like accepting what is and responding rather than reacting. And for me, it's like, my intention is always to just allow people to experience love, that to be that clear conduit of God's source love flowing through me. So, when I am getting pulled aside to, get patted down or whatever, it's like, hey, I know you're just doing your job. And hey, if no one's told you lately, you're awesome. You're amazing. Thank you so much, because they're doing their job. And
Yeah.
y'all, bitchy about it, then that's going to be the energy you're going to get back. If you want to be
Yeah,
all,
yeah, exactly.
kind and loving, hey, thank you for your service. I recognize that you're doing what you feel like you're supposed to be doing,
Yeah.
and not being offended by it.
That's so powerful. And I mean, you might say, well, this is just simple stuff, but guys, I tell you, Ascension, co-creating a new earth, it's simple, and it's work, inner work.
Mhm.
And that's what I want to drive home, because so many people are getting glitzed and glamored into, these whatever are going to do it for me. Someone else is going to do it for me. And like I said, it's been done for you. The energy's there. And
Mhm.
and I know that it's something we have to get over. And I know I have to get over it too, because in the past, because we've been in the Fibonacci spiral, basically, without getting into all kinds of ascension geomancy, the cards have been stacked against us.
The fib of Nochi.
Yeah, the Fibonacci. We've not had the chi, we've not had the quantum, we've not had the energy behind our Krystic path. And okay, what am I saying? I'm saying, things like the good fight was always lost. The good guys always finished last. Why is everyone else that's so depraved making all this money and getting ahead, and me who's following the impeccable, virtues, is finishing last? And that's how it's been. I my whole book is about, every time I became a really great teacher, they said, you're a great teacher, but don't come back. Every time I went to Hollywood with all my, dreams and visions, they handed me a porno script. Every time, I tried to, help and heal people, it was like, oh, that's against the law. You can't do that, So, but what has happened, and I want you to hear this, is that the shift has occurred. And we talked about moving from away from the Fibonacci onto the KRYSTALA Spiral November 8th last year. And now it's really picking up quantum, so that we, whether the light workers, the indigos, the Krystic beings, the good guys, whatever you want to call us, we have the support of the multiverse, of the UNI-verse behind us. So all we have to do, and this time, it's not like you have to have years of therapy. Because my parents are therapists, and I've seen people in therapy for years working on the same problem. But you just let it clear it moment to moment, as you just demonstrated. You know, go through it and don't react, respond.
Well, we're graced with a choice in every moment of how we can choose to respond. And it's like listening to our bodies. And when we do feel triggered, it's like, oh, like, what is this? Is this here, what's happening right now in this moment? Or is this bringing up something that's happened like so long ago that's been unhealed? And, oh, here's my opportunity. Here's my opportunity to feel this feeling again so that I can like take a look at this. Oh, wow, I see what this is. Oh, this is this abandonment piece that I've had. Oh, let me take a step back and like, let me feel this. So I welcome it, you know?
And that's exactly it. We're rewriting all of our life stories, all of our past lives, our alternate identities, really, since there's no time of being victimized. We're taking them all into this one now moment, this heroic journey that we're on. We're writing our heroic script, which is the one that becomes the victor, that ascends, that moves beyond this. And that's what the rewriting of your life story is all about. Winning, ascending this time. So, okay, so we're almost out of time. Amma, do you want to just say how people can connect with you and, you know?
Sure, absolutely. So I am on Facebook. I'm a soul. My sanctuary, Blue Heart Sanctuary, has a page. Post lots of fun and uplifting animal videos, cute videos of all the animals. My website is blueheartsanctuary.org. Also Soul Gaia, SOLGAIA, soulgaia.org. And if anybody wants to send me an email, it's love@blueheartsanctuary.org.
Okay, wonderful. And if you stay with us for the next segment, we're going to talk more about, you know, her whole fascinating work with her beautiful, beautiful animals and the journey of such an inspirational little sheep, Aurora Light. She's just so symbolic and so powerful. And try not to tear up. And we'll go into more details. So I just want to update you a little bit because right now I am moving to another YouTube platform. And please subscribe if you're listening to this on the YouTube. Being infinite human beings co-creating a new earth. I just decided to go with it, and it will be monetized so I can support myself because I've decided I really am supposed to be doing this and I need to be getting back because I've just been giving. And I'm going to be doing also some classes, I think opening a Patreon, group so that it won't cost very much, but we can discuss in more detail some of the topics of these podcasts and really begin to support you in your journey of what we just talked about, rewriting your life story to its heroic self and moving from victim to victor and just all dealing with all the things that are coming up with you because I hear you. I've been coaching and I have opened up my coaching at a very discounted rate just for a little while because I want to move on to Patreon so it won't cost so much for everyone. I really had a wonderful person that I coached yesterday, and I learned so much about what you guys are going through down there in 3D Earth. And I've been through it, so don't worry. I'm not just saying that. Okay, so all right. Is there anything else you want to say?
I'd just like to express my gratitude. I really appreciate the opportunity to collaborate with you and to join and to share. So thank you so much for the invitation and for the beautiful space that you hold. I really appreciate it.
Well, thank you. Well, we all love you so much. And, I know even people that, I just see all the time. I can see the stats or whatever, and people, these are timeless. So people are always finding them and finding about you. And these words, I think, are just very simple, very loving words that can really make your day and really inspire people and even make your life. In fact, I've been putting subs. Also, I have a newsletter on Substack, and I got a message back from someone the other day that said, "Your book is the best book I ever read." And I'm like, "Oh God, that makes me feel good because it's nice to share." I think the best thing is sharing and knowing that you're making a difference to the oneness of us all. Okay, so all right, please tune in. The next episode will be discussing the shifting world of the animal kingdom. And a lot of you I know have lost animals and pets, especially in this period. It's been strange. So this is kind of a response to that. So please join us in the next segment. Okay, thank you. Bye.
Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of the Infinite Human Talk Show with your host, Elizabeth Monroy. We hope today's episode has inspired you to join the new consciousness renaissance and be the change by reclaiming your true divine infinite nature within and becoming an infinite human and a co-creator of the new infinite earth. Tune in next week for another empowering episode. Until then, have an infinite week.
Magic hands. Thank you, Matt.
You're welcome. Thank you. Have a great rest of your day.
Magic moments. Magic moments. Memories we've been sharing. Magic moments. Magic moments. Time can erase the memory of